Hi, this is Sarah Kugeis. This is Sarah Kugeis DBT Myofascial Release. I am going to do a self-treatment technique for the quadratus lumborum right now. So quadratus lumborum is a muscle, and it's really in the back, kind of close into the spine. It's kind of at the same shape as the palm of my hand, and it goes from the top of the pelvis, that kind of bone that creates a ridge there, and it connects into the bottom of the ribs. So our lower ribs are what we call floating ribs. They don't attach to anything in the front, and so that's where this quadratus lumborum muscle is. So there's a couple different ways to get into this. A lot of times people will come at it by kind of lying on their side, and so you want to have one of these 4-inch Sport Time All Balls is ideal. It's nice and soft, it's filled up with air, but if you have some other balls, some Milani rolling balls, a tennis ball is probably going to be a little bit too intense. Maybe see if you have some balls that your kiddos are playing with. Maybe you could use water bottle, and just kind of use the round edge of the water bottle. There's definitely some things that you can play around with this. So you're kind of shooting for that to be in between your pelvis and your rib cage, and basically that's where we think of our waist, right? So very edge of the waist, and you can come down onto your side like that. So the ball is underneath me. I'll show you on the top part. The ball is kind of underneath me right here. It's not at the very side of my waist, it's at the back of my waist, and so that kind of allows that pressure to go into where that quadratus lumborum is. So that can be a good way to get into it. Some people find that they want to come into it a little bit at an angle, and so if you lie on your back, again, you're shooting for that ball to be in between the top of the pelvis and the bottom of the rib cage, and then you can use something else underneath you to kind of put you at a little bit of an angle. Your legs can be kind of rotated a little bit, so you can see here I'm kind of on my back, but a little bit rotated up. So doesn't really matter how you get into this, it matters that it works for your body, and that's always the overarching theme with these videos, is doing what works for your body. So either one of these actually works for me. I can feel my body kind of softening into this one pretty quickly. The other one was pretty intense to start, but I don't feel like much is happening now. So I'm going to come more onto my side and get into it that way. So really important when you're doing this, there's a decent level of intensity where that ball is. It's important that the rest of my body is as comfortable, as relaxed, as supported as possible. So if you watch my video on using pleasant sensations to help you manage and deal with stress, we're kind of doing that in our bodies right now. So if I was lying here and this was really uncomfortable, or if I was having to really work hard here, it makes it harder to soften in and relax in the area that we're really focusing on, right into the low back on my bottom side. So again, you want to kind of be nice and comfortable here, right? So if you need a pillow, if it's uncomfortable for your arm to be like that and you need a pillow to put under your head, go for it. I love having an extra ball around. You can stick it anywhere. And this can be really nice because actually, surprisingly enough, your neck and your head is connected to the rest of your body. So if you have a ball there, and you can kind of play around a little bit, even if you don't have a ball there, play around a little bit with what happens if I rotate my head down that way? What happens if I rotate my head up this way? So just let yourself play with it a little bit, and then once you kind of find okay, this spot right here really allows me to feel a good amount of sensation in the low back where the ball is, and allows me to feel supported so that I can relax. You're always trying to find that line of working your edge of discomfort, of pressure, of sensation, and having enough support so that you can relax into it. And so just take some time there
Allow yourself to focus in on the area where the ball is. If you feel like, okay, that was really intense at first and now it's released, maybe shift a little bit if you need to. Come onto the ball a little bit more if you need to. You can also do this with a foam roll. If you have a foam roll and that seems like it works better for you, you can totally do that, just kind of sticking that in between your pelvis and the base of your ribs. I tend to be really, really tight there, so a foam roll is way too much for me. And just allow your breath to be what it is. You're not forcing your breath to do anything. You're just allowing yourself to relax, and as you do that, your breath will shift and change. You can be aware of your breath. That can be really helpful to do, but again, don't try to force yourself to take really relaxing breaths. That's gonna make your nervous system think that you're needing more oxygen because there's a stressful event coming. So just kind of watch your breath, and whenever your body wants to take a deep run, allow that to happen. So again, 3 to 5 minutes on each side. When you feel done with that, get that ball out from underneath you. You can roll off of it. You can just pull it out. Pause for a moment without the ball underneath you, and then really use your arms to push yourself up. When you've released areas, you don't want to kind of force them to have to do a whole lot of work right away. And then what I'll have you do is just come down onto the other side. So again, you're taking that ball, you're sticking it kind of at the back part of your waist and coming down onto that. This other ball can help if you want to be more on your side. You can use that, or more on your back, sorry. You can use that to kind of support you to be at an angle. I'll do this ground like that. So I have the other ball kind of supporting me. My knees are bent right now. That feels like a little bit of work. So I'll see if I straighten my legs down, though, there's not quite enough pressure here. So I'm going to kind of keep my knees bent, and if I take my feet apart, actually that feels like a little less work, and I still feel that pressure there. So I'm trying to just figure out what works for my body so that I can soften and release into that area where the ball is, and the rest of my body doesn't have to work too hard. So I'm just going to be quiet for a little bit and allow you to experience this process without me talking. And so again, your focus is to feel the sensations in your body where the ball is, and also just your body in general. And that can be physical sensations, that can be emotional sensations. And as soon as you realize you're not focusing on sensation, without judgment, bring yourself back to sensation. So you're welcome to stay here for as long as you can focus on the sensations, as long as you are feeling things shift and change. But when you're ready, after about 3 to 5 minutes, that's what you're shooting for, you can roll off of the balls or just slide them out from underneath you and allow yourself to come into your kind of a neutral position if your body wants to move and shift, wiggle, stretch in any way. Allow that to happen and come into that kind of neutral center position. And again, when you're coming up and out of each of these techniques, you want to do so as gently as possible. So it's not very gentle for the low back to sit straight up. It's recommended that you don't do that if you're pregnant at all. So come onto your side and use your arms to push yourself up.
I hope that you found this to be helpful for you. If you have any questions, please shoot me a message or leave a comment below. Thanks and take care.